Here's the highlights then from race 1 in Portimao. And it was the perfect start from pole position man Fermin Aldeguer. He grabbed the whole shot into turn 1. Alonso Lopez grabbing P2 with Lucas Tulovic from the second row of the grid slotting into third place. But immediately Fermin Aldeguer started edging clear after a couple of laps. Lucas Tulovic got the better of Alonso Lopez in the opening stage before this happened at the top of the hill. Not quite that lap, it was the next lap that Lucas Tulovic, he got passed by Alonso Lopez down into turn 1. Hard on the anchors there are the riders. As you can see on your screens, Aldeguer just pulling clear. That's Dimas Pratama. His race ended early at turn 15, and here it is then, the instant I was talking about. Lucas Tulovic, third in the championship, took in the front and crashing in race 1. Tulovic remounted and finished 17th at the end. No points, unfortunately, for the German in race 1. But it was Fermin Aldeguer at the front, edging clear. That's Norridin and Cardloose in the thick of it in the battle for the final podium positions, but Alonso Lopez and Norridin were able to break clear after Cardloose made a couple of mistakes.
They're very much in with a shout here, although Aldeguer has put in a stunning first sector on this lap, so maybe he's been given the hurry up.
It seems like Aldeguer can just turn it on whenever he wants, can't he? When he needs to just batten down the hatches and just stay calm, maybe in the opening few laps he can do it, but then he's got that switch, isn't he? When he needs to, he'll just get the hammer down and start pulling clear.
Mistake there for Cardlouse. Not sure what happened to him there, but he got it all wrong. Coming out of the left-hander there of turn 13, and it ended up releasing Kubo, so we're not quite sure what happened to Cardlouse there. He just appeared to have no drive coming off the corner, so whether he had a moment mid-corner which just lost him all momentum, not entirely sure. We'll maybe get a replay of that, but it's released Kubo up into 4th place, and all that momentum that Cardlouse had built up has now all disappeared.
Yeah, it's a shame for Cardlouse, as we saw set the fastest lap of the race on the previous lap, and now he's lost all that momentum. So yeah, not good for Cardlouse, but he's shown he's got the pace so he can regroup and try and attack the podium places, but he's got to get past Kubo first.
Cardlouse did a 46.5, lost a second on that final sector of the lap, so that's cost them dearly. And Aldeguer, he's just got that level of consistency and that pace that he can set at will, whereas these guys can do it occasionally, but not enough to launch a consistent threat to it.
Let's not forget, he's still only 16 years old, and he's only just turned 16 as well. It looks like Aldeguer's got a fantastic career ahead of him. And as we mentioned previously on the grid, he has MotoGP experience in the Moto2 class on the Grand Prix scene. So expect Aldeguer to be on to win this race. And Monteiro obviously moved up into the Moto2 World Championship, and Aldeguer at just 16 years old will be pushing to do exactly the same.
I was going to say it'd be the top of my shopping list if I was looking for a Moto2 rider for next season. Here's an interesting battle going on. Sam Wilford has taken 6th position now with some of the drama ahead of him, but he's got Matteo Rato on his tail. Rato, of course, looking to recover from that moment that we saw, that mistake on the opening lap, and he's been chasing down Wilford of late. They're lapping in the 146s at the moment, comfortably quicker than the group behind them, which is led by Alex Toledo. Yourself in position, just leave yourself right there in case this man on screen makes a mistake, which admittedly have been few and far between this season, but that's all it takes, one mistake for Aldeguer, and it opens the championship wide open. But it's interesting with Norridin running so close in third. Is he just playing a patient game behind Lopez, running just a couple of tenths behind him? He's certainly close enough behind Lopez to make it clear that he's not struggling to hang this race earlier on. Here is the battle for second then. It's still 0.4 of a second. Once again, Norridin able to essentially match Lopez. It's interesting when you look at the sector times of these two. Lopez always seems to be much faster in the first sector of the lap, but then Norridin claims it all back in the final sector of the lap, pulling back that entire 0.3 of a second. So it seems to be to and fro between the two. Just as Lopez appears to be stretching that out, Norridin just pulls him back in again. And with 5 laps to go, there's certainly no margin for error for Lopez. One mistake, very, very difficult to stop as he starts the final lap of the race and still lapping in the 45s. Lopez has now got 1.2 seconds in hand over Norridin, so second place appears to be sewn up, subject to any mistakes on the final lap. Cardlouse has got empty track in front and behind him for 4th place, with Rato 5th, and Sam Wilford is now on course with that error of Kubo. Sam Wilford is on course for his first top points.
Here he is then, Fermin Aldeguer rounds the final corner here in race 1 in Portimao. He'll rise over the crest of the hill and win his 6th race in a row in 2021. Another masterclass from the number 54. The team celebrates another 1-2 as Alonso Lopez will take 2nd place. Yes, he does, and Norridin grabs his 3rd podium of the season in 3rd place.
Yeah, Cardalus taking 4th position in the end. Borboom coming across the line just behind him, a lap behind. He will fail to score any points. Reto does come across the line in 5th position, 1 up from his qualifying position. And Sam Wilford does come across the line in 6th position for his best result as a CEV Moto2 European Championship rider.
Another outstanding ride from Aldeguer, as we see the lower ends of the top 10 come across the line. The number 32 of Paz did eventually get the better of Toledo and Escrig, so a good recovery there from his turn 5 running wide incident from Paz, and he claims 7th place. A good result then in the end for the VR46 Mastercamp rider. There's